I've done Iboga a handful of times, and it seems like about every 2 years or so. But I think the first time I did Iboga was about 6 years ago. And my father had died some months before that. And I had looked into doing a plant medicine before, and I had found some stuff about ayahuasca. But then I found something about Iboga. No, that's what I want to do, because it was about more going inward, and connecting with your soul rather than going outward, as seemed to be with ayahuasca.
Mhm.
I was feeling like it was kind of that time, like I kind of wanted to do it. When I started thinking about doing it, I just really kind of feel this call to be doing the medicine, almost like I start feeling the medicine
Mm.
before I go. And I felt that really strongly this time. And I had asked about them before, as Michael reminded me. Iboga will definitely show you these things, but it's not like you go do Iboga, and that's it. Like all your problems are solved, right? Like you'll always emphasize, you have to do the work, and be vigilant and make the changes. And I haven't always done that so well. Maybe I've done some, but I've certainly been really stuck on some things. And this time, I had the usual, like I had so much clarity after doing it, and could see exactly what was going on with myself. I really also just felt like, okay, I have to make these changes. Like I have to move and actually do these things, not just like, no, oh yeah, that's kind of what I should do. This time I thought, well, I'm not really depressed like the other times when I have gone to do Boga. Um, but I also had things in my life that I wasn't solving or dealing with well, that had been issues for quite some time. But I didn't realize until I was there, like how intense that had been for me.
Mhm.
I wasn't totally depressed, like I can't function well, but I was still living with this level of anxiety and fear that I wasn't even fully aware of until coming to do Iboga. I've been having issues with my husband for a while. Um, yeah, just in terms of how we get along, and how our relationship has been, because we've come from different countries, and we've had this, it's kind of like very privileged problems, but like of where we should live, in terms of the States or France.
Mhm.
And we've just had conflict about that, and with work issues, for both of us, issues in terms of what I want to be doing to feel more fulfilled in work. Those were my main issues. I especially had a real breakthrough about my husband with stuff that I have been really afraid to face, because it was a lot about just this deep rooted fear that I had, like from stuff with my childhood, that I really put on him.
Mhm.
Like I've been dealing with him really badly and not kindly. And I kind of just excuse that and put it on him instead of really looking deeper at myself,
Mhm.
and what was going on with me. I realized things while I was there with you all after ceremony, and I wrote my husband a letter, but I didn't want to show it to him after I got back. Like I still was like, holding back and holding on to my old story, until I just kind of had this breakthrough one night. And I after we had a big argument, and I realized exactly what was going on, and we just had this long talk. And I apologized, and I went through what came up for me when these things that triggered me happen, and I realized my triggers weren't like his fault. They were things that I needed to deal with and go inside myself and be like, and look at. So that was a really big thing and a big breakthrough that I had this time, that I felt with, like, before, I had dealt with it somewhat, but I hadn't been able to fully go there and get that. It's like when Michael Earl would say, like, you've got to be like, or I remember Gendo would say this, you've got to be like a hunter.
Mm.
Well, just in that I was able to um, really sincerely like apologize to him and admit in the ways that I'd been treating him, whereas before I had kind of put the blame more on him.
Yeah.
Um, really made him open up to me more,
Oh.
and just be more like he kind of used to be with me, because then I would blame him too for not being as open with me, or um, caring as much about me in ways that he used to. And even just talking to him that one night, like he was like, basically said how he had shut down because of the way I had been treating him.
Mm.
It was really tough for me to hear that, but especially to go back into what made me like so afraid, and that I was, putting all this stuff, like childhood stuff, on him and on interactions with him and ways that he behaved that triggered things for me. And it was really hard for me to go back there and face that stuff and even talk to him about it. But it really helped just open up things more between us. You know? I
Mm.
mean, and that also is a process too. I mean, it's like it also didn't make things perfect for us instantly, but it's something that I think we continue to work on and be aware of, and it definitely gave this huge opening. You know, my father abused my sister and I when we were little, and I thought I kind of accepted that or tried to deal with that, but there was always a part of me whenever I would mention it or talk about it, which is not so often, and I really didn't like to, because I felt like there was always a part of me that didn't believe myself true, even though I knew intellectually I could say like I believe that that's true.
Mhm.
So I, after ceremony, one ceremony I went, it was after in my room that I went and found like all my child selves, my inner child, and talked to them. And I found the one who was hiding was like this 9 or 10 year old. And it was her who was kind of, I don't know, she was doing like imitating kind of things my parents had said, because they both really denied things for a long time, and told this whole different story to kind of take things off of them. And that really made a difference in just in how I feel and, can talk about and deal with that. And I also felt so nauseated and like gripped by fear that I just, anxiety during the night, that and I was okay with that too, because I feel like another reason I come back too is because Iboga is such a loving medicine. I mean, I already kind of knew the ropes. So when I was gripped by that anxiety, fear thing, I was like, okay, I felt like this time I could really be like, bring it on.
Mhm.
I see you, I feel you fear, I feel you anxiety. Come on, what do you have to show me, and I feel like maybe that was, the first time that I've been really a lot like that too. Just like, okay, I'm cool with that. Show me what you have to show me.
Mhm.
There's this underlying current of this anxiety or fear that kind of grips me. Just basically those issues that I wasn't dealing fully with, like moving, work, stuff with my husband.
Right.
Just that I was, that I was so anxious about them because they remained so unresolved, that I was basically clenching my the way that I was clenching my body, and just,
Um,
who knows, however else that works energetically, but it just showed me that kind of clenching of my gut almost, or that area, just all down there was basically doing something to my kidneys and urinary tract, and how it made me really restless, but paralyzed at the same time. So after, even during ceremony, I think I went to pee like a few times, or like more than I normally would. And then afterwards, it was crazy. Like I hadn't really drank water right after ceremony, and I just kept like peeing and peeing both times. But I had my last urinary tract infection right before, like 2 weeks before I came to retreat, and I haven't had any since. And I also, yeah, so.
Great.
And I also noticed, even before I came to retreat, I would notice that when I did get like tense or stressed or anxious, I would feel like I was getting one,
Right.
even though I maybe wouldn't actually get one, but I would feel it like, oh, I feel like maybe I'm getting one. Um, so people go to plant medicines expecting them to just, oh, you go to plant medicine, you get all cleared out and like that's it. But that's definitely not it. Yes, you get like great clarity. I feel like it's like, like a rocket ship to clarity, but um, you have to really work at maintaining that and holding that, the insights and the things that you get from that
Yeah.
and applying that in your life for sure. And I really am conscious about checking in. I mean, now of course it's like, we're dealing with all this virus stuff, so it's kind of a funny time. And there have been some times when I've gotten a little lost in the fear stuff, like I'm reading too much news or
Yeah.
so so it's not like, I've been perfect about everything, but I do, I go back and read my notes. I keep up my spiritual practice. Um, so and also, we were taking the steps to make the actual move back to France, which is what I know in my heart is best for me and my family. It really showed me a lot too, just this last time, about how important like taking action is. Like that was really, and I was also reading that book, Unfuck Yourself, and just that thing about like you're not your thoughts. It's like your actions that matter. And it's like taking no action is worse than taking action, having it be a mistake,
Yeah.
because by not doing anything, you're choosing something. You know, so I feel like even though I knew that intellectually before, that was really hammered into me this time. I mean, I have recommended you all and your place to people. I've told people, I know friends of mine or people that I've talked to this about. And first, I remember 6 years ago, I was really kind of hesitant to tell people because it was, it was still such a kind of weird thing to people. I mean, what a difference some time makes. And now I feel like a lot more people are a lot more open to it.
Mhm.
But I've tried to tell as many people as I can who might be interested. I mean, not pushing it on them, but if people are interested, I will talk about it and be like, it's the best thing you could do for yourself. I think Iboga is really special, that it's a really beautiful, loving, amazing medicine.
Mhm.
And I also talk about how wonderful you all are, how amazing Michael is. And I love it that I could feel so confident about having such a strong recommendation, because I wouldn't want to push anything like that unless I knew and had experienced that and could say, hey, this is my experience. This was amazing. It's such a great thing that you could do for yourself and take care of yourself, and your life and your relationships, and just give you some help, because our world is so toxic and can be so difficult sometimes. And I feel like this is something that's a really wonderful, beautiful help. I'm always just really floored by how great Michael is, like how caring and amazing he is. It's like he just gets better and better.
Oh.
And and also his staff, you and Sherry and Jonathan, everybody. I'm just so impressed by how authentic and real you all are. Like, you're not putting on any kind of show. Like you're all just so caring and genuine and willing to share of yourselves so much, and your own stories and your own issues, and just to be really open and candid, and really caring, and that makes such a huge difference. I would just tell people, to absolutely go if you feel inclined to go. I know some people are drawn to other medicines, and again, I wouldn't want to push something on somebody that they didn't feel, but I feel like if somebody, is at all interested in going to do Iboga, I could just fully say, with my full heart, that like, don't hesitate to go and do this beautiful, amazing thing with you all, with the most amazing team, and person leading the ceremony. You all and Michael are just so wonderful and make it so special and such a real, authentic, amazing experience. I think that's important, because I know a lot of people are scared, and I know a lot of people are like, just that it really scares them, the thought of doing something like that. And yeah, so I just want to emphasize that because I think it's important to just be reassured that it's, such an amazing thing to do with great people. Thank you.